I guess we'll go ahead and go into the playoffs. I'll end this little amazing video I have going right here. I'm going to go ahead and we'll pull off the playoffs right now. Playoffs, how they...
Go make a sandwich. I'll be right back.
All right, dude. Appreciate you non-athlete guys sticking around out there for us. Appreciate it, Jake.
Well, we better watch with that non-athlete kid.
Hey, man. Hey. Thank you. All right, so here we're going to go. I have it pulled up. I'm sure you have it pulled up as well, Will. As they stand right now, AFC New England 1 seed, Baltimore 2, Kansas City 3, Colts 4, Buffalo 5, Houston 6. Outside looking in, 3 closest team, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. I think those are really the only 3 teams that possibly have a chance, other than a sneaky Chargers pick down there I wouldn't sleep on. We're going to go AFC, San Francisco 1, Green Bay 2, New Orleans 3, Dallas 4, Seattle 5, Minnesota 6. The NFC's a little different. Outside looking in, Rams, Eagles, Panthers, Bears. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where that is going to end. I think the Bears actually might have dug a little bit too much of a hole just with that team's play style. So you could almost say Carolina, but you got to think right now in the NFC to even get into the playoffs, 8-3 is the 6th seed in the NFC. Everybody except Dallas with 8 wins. That's super impressive.
Absolutely. And Carolina has a very tough schedule ahead.
Absolutely, yes. Well, they still get New Orleans twice, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They sure do.
And they
First game is November 24th in New Orleans.
Nice. All right, we'll start with AFC. So what we're going to do first, Patriots, Baltimore, Chiefs, Colts, Bills, Texans. Name one of those teams that you can see falling out of the playoffs.
Ooh. That is very tough. You know, I love Deshaun Watson. You know, but I think they give up so many points. If he doesn't will his team to victory and do what he does, which is amazing things all the time, then they could easily fall out.
True.
Easily. Because Houston does not, it's never a low-scoring game. They remind me of the Saints 5 years ago.
I agree.
The only way the Saints were going to win is if they put up 28 points.
Yeah, they had to put up 5 touchdowns on you before they guaranteed anywhere near a win. That still wasn't guaranteed.
Deshaun scares me in reference to he gets hit more than any player, and his hits just look bad. You know, you look at Lamar Jackson, when he takes a hit, he kind of absorbs the impact. Deshaun looks like, you know, that hurt getting up. It really did. Buffalo could very well be the same way, though, for the sheer fact of their defense is incredible. But Josh Allen can throw a game away faster than any player I've ever seen.
We'll turn into a Josh Allen roast session, I see. I can see it. I see Buffalo has the 1-game lead. I don't see Buffalo gaining 2 games on New England. Houston absolutely tied with the Colts. That's I'll go ahead and make my pick. I know he said the Bills. I'm gonna say Colts. I'm gonna go with the Colts here.
I do like the Colts, though. You know, keep the Colts been fighting strong. They haven't had T.Y. Hilton. He's going to be coming back in a week or 2.
That is true.
Yeah, he's their number 1. He's a great player. Yeah, but when you look at the Bills, I mean, the Bills have to. This week they played Denver.
True.
They have to go to Dallas.
True.
They have to play Baltimore.
True.
And then they have to go to Pittsburgh, which you just don't know what you're going to get with Rudolph. You know, Pittsburgh was picking up steam, and then they had this fallout with Cleveland. And then they have to go to New England. Their only easy game the rest of the way is home against the Jets.
True. I agree. Late in the year, cold weather, so I'll give a little defense. I'll give it defense. I think if they can win with what they have left to go, I think if Buffalo can win, they can win 3 games.
I think at best 3-3 would be their shot. It's if they beat Denver, they're not going to be. I don't think them beating the Cowboys at Dallas. I think Baltimore is going to embarrass them. and I don't see them ever beating New England in New England.
Oh no! For the NFL's sake, I hope Buffalo has some kind of answer for Baltimore right now, because if not, that's going to be scary. All right, so with the people that are in the still alive category, so we'll go Oakland, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. We can go Cleveland, Jacksonville, Chargers, whoever you want, Denver, Jets, Dolphins, even if you want to take the Bengals, which they're statistically the only team eliminated from the playoffs right now.
First team to ever go 0-10 after making the playoffs.
That is a huge fact. Where's Marvin Lewis, right? Ta-ding. Well, who's the team you can see from the outside that can sneak in?
Before the incident, this was it Monday night? It was Monday night.
Yeah.
The Cleveland game.
Mm-hmm.
Before the incident, I could see Cleveland because their schedule was the easiest. The only tough game I saw them having was Baltimore. They played Miami, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati twice, and then Arizona. So they could easily Miami. They could have easily gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? They got 6 games left.
Yeah.
They could easily have gone 5-1. Easily. Now with Myles Garrett gone, it's questionable. Myles Garrett's not only gone; they have 3 players that are suspended for at least 1 game.
Yeah. And I think
Key defensive players.
the fact that they're 2 games back of teams like Houston, Buffalo, and the Colts, I think that one makes it tough.
Yeah, but I mean, with the Colts, they're a game back from Pittsburgh, but they could catch up. They could leap them playing Pittsburgh if they beat them.
Well, that's true.
And then, the Colts schedule isn't easy either. They have that at Houston this weekend, and Tennessee always plays tough. Tennessee's defense is great. They can beat Tampa, but it's at Tampa. But then they got to go to New Orleans, and they finish off New Orleans, Carolina, Jacksonville.
Yeah, tough ground schedule. Their whole division, man. It reminds me a lot of the NFC South. Mm-hmm. Their whole division just seems to hate each other. And then you have y'all keep Tampa down there in the basement, which is a dangerous team. I think that's how they kind of keep the Titans. Jacksonville has a scary team every now and then, but I don't know. I think Tennessee's a little brother of that division. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the team that could sneak in possibly. Like I said, the reason why I'm not including Cleveland is for the sheer fact of that incident. I think Myles Garrett is going to hurt them the most.
Yeah.
I'm going to player that had 5 or 6 or 7 sacks through 9 games.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowl candidate. You can't just replace him with a backup.
Yeah.
The reason why he's in top 5 best players, under a certain age, because he is that talented.
Yeah, true. Well,
So I think a team that could slip in, I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans.
Okay. I'll take that. I'm going to take the Raiders.
Wow.
I think the Raiders will end up replacing. I guess I'm going to drop Indianapolis, and I'm going to take the Raiders. If you have to think of how a team can make it in, no knock on Jacoby Brissett. Let's look at the quarterbacks, which I guess you have Buffalo with Allen. Let's look. You could say the AFC has, I don't want to say they have more star power, but they're just as loaded talent-wise as the NFC playoff picture. I don't think the AFC has the total group of quarterbacks that the NFC has from top to bottom.
Their own division, though.
Well, I agree, but Oakland, I think, has the best quarterback out of the teams that could sneak their way in. Mason Rudolph in Pittsburgh's not going to happen.
We'll find out for really sure, definitively, probably this weekend, because the 2 teams fighting for that division are playing each other, and Kansas City and Oakland are playing each other.
Yeah, and I think if Oakland pulls that off, I mean they jump up to possibly the 3 or the 4 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, they take over the division or the AFC West.
Yeah,
they got a tough next 2 games. Yeah, they play Kansas City, then go to New England. So it's just. They have a hard road, but I am very impressed with what they're doing so far.
Yeah, they low-key they've kind of brushed the haters off, and you don't hear that Oakland hate that you heard last year.
They have one starting receiver that would be a starter on anyone else's team.
They do remind me a lot of New England. That's I will say that, but I don't want to go too crazy and start comparing Carr and Brady and Belichick with Gruden. I'm not a huge Gruden guy, but he knows what he's doing, kinda, I guess.
I agree. You look. I mean, their number one receiver is Marcel Adaman.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't. As big as I am into college
State.
football, yeah, and see, I'm a Big 12 guy. I don't even know who that is.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
They have Tyrell Williams, but he hasn't done much. No, not he hadn't done much at all.
yeah, but he
So, I mean-
was kind of a shock. I mean, nobody thought he was going to come out and be anything stupid crazy.
Well, he's just been a deep threat. That's why I think he was so good at San Diego. Because Philip Rivers, he's going to throw that ball deep. He's going to test it.
Yeah,
He's going to test it. I mean, there's a reason why Philip Rivers leads the league a lot in passing attempts and then also interceptions because he's just not scared. Whereas Derek Carr, you really don't associate Derek Carr with throwing that deep ball.
yeah,
He's more pick and pop, like you said, New England.
yeah. He's not like his brother. His brother would sling that thing.
God bless his heart. What a terrible situation he got in.
Yeah, that I think he's that was a ball player that got screwed out of the league. Man, David Carr, he was
No other
serious.
player has been hit more in his first 2 seasons.
Yeah, that dude was for real. I'm glad I got to watch him as a what I was maybe high school when David
Just
Carr came
unfortunate,
out.
Had he gone anywhere else, he might still be in the league with his brother.
I feel that absolutely. All right, so let's swap over. No, actually, give me your AFC playoffs. How it's going to shake out? I want to go 1 to 6. Rank them 1 to 6.
Okay. Well, New England has the easiest schedule in the world.
Yep.
Gosh, I wish this would change.
Yeah, they need to move them divisions.
I mean, once they get through the next 2 weeks, Dallas and Houston. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, you just never know. I'm going to take a risk like this. I'm going to say Baltimore leapfrogs them.
Nice. I like it.
And we got Baltimore, New England, and I said Houston's getting in, so I think Houston's leapfrogging the Colts. And Kansas City, of course.
Okay.
So that's 5.
Yeah.
So I'll say Buffalo.
Nice.
Buffalo holds tight.
Okay.
Buffalo's
Buffalo.
that sneaky pick that nobody just projected to be where they are now, and I think they're riding it with a chip on their shoulder. And even though that quarterback, he will throw a game away. He is after he throws 3 interceptions, and that's the only reason why I like him. He is not scared to throw it again.
I like it. Well, you got to do it on the record. Well, I'm gonna go ahead so that way I don't run anything. I'll go ahead and do my AFC. AFC, I like where you have it. I want Baltimore to sneak into that 1 seed. Will they do it? Debatable. I think Baltimore can. We'll see. New England has to trip up. They just keep seeming to win games by 3 points, 7 points, 10 points. They just keep winning, and that's what at the end of the day, that's what matters. I'm gonna go Baltimore, New England. Kansas City better be careful, man. Kansas City is that one that is making me nervous right now. Kansas City is absolutely terrible against a run. I think Kansas City is going to get thumped in the playoffs pretty easily. And I know that sounds crazy with all the Mahomes hype, especially being a guy who lives in Tyler, Texas. Man, I am going to take... I'm going to say Kansas City holds on to 3. I am going to sneak up and give you Houston at 4. Houston's going to knock the Colts out. We'll keep Buffalo there. Oakland sneaks into the playoffs.
Oakland sneaks into the playoffs. That's going to be amazing if they do. I'd love to see it.
I think it's going to happen. So,
Love to see it. All this hoopla that Gruden got for
man.
the trades, and
it makes
lo
for
and behold, he makes the playoffs.
good news. So give me your AFC. Who comes out with the AFC Championship trophy? Okay, you got to take a hot take.
My heart tells me Baltimore.
Okay. Well, I think right now, this point of the playoffs, this early, before we're into the playoffs, I think absolutely Baltimore is the best team in the AFC right now. Kansas City doesn't have the defense.
Can I butt in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Nathan asked which team he should support. The Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys right there, Nathos. We appreciate that.
All, carry on.
Yeah, I've just been seeing if you have any questions. I didn't see that question, Nathos. I'm sorry. I will actually pay more attention, but that's what Grumpy's there for. Yeah, so we'll both take Baltimore. I like that. We'll move over to the NFC. We'll try to breeze through the NFC real quick. So we got the NFC. We got San Fran. You have Green Bay, New Orleans, Dallas, Seattle, Minnesota. Who drops?
Ooh, say them again real quick.
You have San Fran, Green Bay, New Orleans, Dallas, Seattle, Minnesota.
I think the only team that is not a lock
This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
is the Cowboys.
Yeah, because if you look at it, right now, Los Angeles is a game and a half back of Minnesota. Philly is, man, my chair is messing up on me right now. Philly's 2.5 back from getting that 6 seed. Minnesota's one way away from basically locking in the NFC. And I'm with you. The only two teams that can even really fight for a spot right now is going to be that 4 slot, and that's going to be Dallas and Philly.
That's right.
And I'm not going to say Dallas doesn't make the playoffs, and not to mention they have probably the hardest schedule in the NFL on the back end. That people can argue that. I'm with you. Dallas needs to be careful.
Yeah, they got New England. Their tough games are going to be New England, the Rams, and then that at Philly, December 22nd.
That's
a huge
bro.
game.
I wish I was. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in Philly that night?
God, Philly's going to bring the rain.
There's going to. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a game. It's going to be must see TV. Probably most watched game in the NFL.
Will be there.
And so, like I say, I knew it was going to be a breeze through. I threw the little Saints joke in there. Honestly, unless you're going to take Los Angeles and Minnesota has some kind of epic fall, or Seattle just goes on a losing streak, you have to take Philly, possibly passing up Dallas. I mean, I don't see the Rams just running off and not losing a game for the rest of the season in Minnesota. If a team in the NFC, if I could take a team, they should have lost the Dallas game, and I think if they lose the Dallas game, we're in a different subject with a 7-4 Minnesota, with a 6-4 Los Angeles. I would take that. I would take that Rams game back. I would take that, but it's not.
Rams are just iffy. They're just iffy. They are not the same team without Todd Gurley the way he is. It's proven. I mean, Jared Goff is not that player that they paid him.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
really not. He looks. I mean, you give a quarterback the weapons that they had, and then you add the most dynamic running back in the league when he at that time. You know, he was. Todd Gurley could do everything. Everything. He was in MVP discussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there has to be something. Don't tell me that a player does not get an MVP caliber running back does not get 10 to 12 touches, and he's only getting 3 to 4. No.
Yeah, something's not something's going on somewhere.
Right.
You would almost
tell me that was part of your game plan.
Yeah, it's for possibly your best player on your team to touch the ball twice.
Yeah. We're going to give the highest paid football running back in the league in history, but he's only going to run the ball 5 times.
Yeah. Second highest, right? Zeke took that spot from him.
Right. Well, at that current juncture when he got the contract.
So did Zeke and Gurley basically this year go ahead and plant the flag in running backs like a stake and say don't pay us?
I think so.
If you pay us, if Zeke continues on the trend he goes, basically Zeke and Gurley just told everybody in the NFL we're not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean I think so for sure. I think they should change the pay structure around to where they flip it 2 ways. We're going to give you health insurance for the rest of your life. We make that much money. But your contract is all going to be incentive-based.
Yeah.
So if you do get hurt, we will take care of you forever. But
Yeah.
if you really want to get what you want, I mean, you pay to play. A prime example. Look at Zeke. I mean, he as soon as he gets that money, he's not the same player. and that's what scares me. Is because Dak's not going to be able to do this forever, or every game, and even some of the games that he does throw for 400 yards. What game was it that he threw for 400 yards?
Well, that was the Minnesota game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minnesota threw
I'm
for like.
still upset about that game.
Yeah, that was a.
That was when Zeke got just shut down.
Well, I mean,
Dallas.
we're not going to go into Dallas's coaching problems right now. I mean, you
Prescott
got
threw for 397 yards that game, and Zeke ran for 47.
Yes, and Zeke had 46 yards going into the last drive. They handed it off to him twice and tried to throw a little screen to him, and he gains a total of 1 yard in 3 plays. When you have a quarterback right now who's marched down the field 2 straight drops in a row. And he brought you from the 20-yard line, your own 20 or 25, takes you all the way inside the opponent's 20, and you just all of a sudden take the ball out of his hands. It's like I'll throw one Texas quote in here. I'm a huge Texas fan, guys, obviously, but Texas lost to Iowa State this weekend because they didn't play to win the game. They played to not lose the game. Big difference in coaching styles. Big difference in play selection, and when you play to not lose, you lose. If that makes sense. But if you play to win, every time you play to win, you have to. You have to play to win.
A big contribution to them too, and I'm going to blame their Mr. Clapp, like you see it on sports radio. Jason Garrett does not. These Cowboys are so talented, but if they come out so flat every game. That is 110% game preparation and motivation.
Well, yeah.
You are not motivating your players to get hyped and ready for that game.
Well, if you walk into a game and you go, okay, we're going to establish the run. We're going to walk in here, we're going to establish the run, that's what we're going to do. I mean, and the run's not working for 3 straight drives, and then you adjust to the game, you're already behind the 8 ball. If you're down to a team like Philly 21-0, who can do that? You go play Baltimore and you're down 21-0. Well, you've waited too long. Now you have to make
Baltimore 21-0. You might score 28 points, but by that time they've already scored 50.
Yeah. I mean, you don't give up on it, but if don't beat a dead horse. I've heard that saying before, so.
And back to Zeke, it is sad to say that a player like Tony Pollard, who
Thank you, Tony.
4th round, 128th pick, at times looks better than the highest paid player in the league.
I'll throw
in that position.
I'll throw a random statistical fact at you. Dallas is undefeated this season and has won every game this season that Tony Pollard has touched the ball, including punt, kickoff, rushes, and receiving. When those 4 categories he averages or has more than 12 touches in one game, Dallas is undefeated. Mm-hmm. Sleep on that. He's a tough guy to plan around. He reminds me a lot of when Dallas had DeMarco Murray and they had Joseph Randle coming out. Remember Joseph Randle, just home run guy.
Yeah.
But you close your eyes. Exactly. DeMarco Murray. And see, that's my thing. Zeke is the lowest ranked running back that starts for a team. He has 0. Only running back that starts for an NFL team this season that doesn't have a rush of 20 or more yards. Tough to swallow when you're the dude that got $50 million guaranteed.
It really is. He's never been a home run maker,
but he's done it.
Yeah, but he's had the capability to make you miss, but now he just puts his head down and just tries to go through it, which is not happening.
Yeah, and you can't say it's his line because you have the quarterback on that team is the number 2 statistically ranked quarterback in the NFL right now. When it comes to pure passing stats, the number 2 ranked quarterback in the NFL. So they're blocking for him. It's hard to block for one and not block for the other. So I mean they go hand in hand. All right, we'll hop off of that. I think NFL. We just have one swap over in the AFC. Well, I'm going too quick. Give me your Super Bowl pick. NFC side, NFC Championship. This is the hardest decision I think I've had to make all day. Are you going San Fran, Green Bay, New Orleans, Dallas, Seattle, Minnesota, and then you have a toss-up with Philly making it in?
Wow.
This one is crucial. This one's crazy because there's so many different playing styles involved in this.
Well, let's see. Then in the South, New Orleans is going to have to play either Seahawks or 49ers prior to the NFC Championship.
Right now, if it sits how it is, and I think it's going to sit just how it is, I think it's going to go San Fran, Green Bay, New Orleans, Dallas, Seattle, Minnesota. You're going to get the Minnesota pool. So you get the Minnesota pool, then you get Dallas and Seattle. I think Dallas wins that. And if that's the case, New Orleans and Green Bay. Dallas might actually get the pull of a lifetime and get to play San Fran. Most overrated team in the NFL. You heard it here
I'm going to
first.
throw a monkey wrench. Of course, I'm a Saints fan. So naturally, I want the Saints, and I think the Saints have the talent. I think with the fortune, and I go from a creature of habit, and New Orleans has a knack for making mistakes in the biggest moments. I'm going Green Bay, Seattle.
Who? Green Bay and Seattle to play for the NFC Championship? Mm-hmm. Oof. I was going to go Green Bay, Dallas.
Nope. I think Seattle has an upset. Or Seattle upset someone.
Well, they're going to beat Dallas.
Yeah.
And I don't know, bro. To think Seattle can go through Dallas's defense and then turn around and beat New Orleans' defense, that's a tough one.
It is. But Seattle's rolling on all cylinders right now. They really are. Their defense is great. Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson have an amazing connection. And they are still true to running the ball. Think about it. You have one of the teams that is in the top 3 most rush attempts, and yet Russell Wilson, their quarterback, is in the MVP discussion.
True. Yeah.
They're just a dangerous, dangerous team.
Well, can I throw this out there? Can we say New Orleans, Dallas, Seattle, San Francisco, all 4 look like they came from the same dad?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Now, different variations. New Orleans runs more of a spread. Dallas is kind of going to the
I
spread.
would throw Dallas in there, though, for the sheer fact, though.
Well, I'm just talking about the offensive firepower mixed in with their defense. Like, that's why I say they're having... That's 6 of the top... 4 of the 6 top 6 teams defensive-wise in the NFL?
Yeah.
Excluding Buffalo and New England?
How about defense?
Defensively, yes. And also, every single one of those teams could put 40, which they've shown all season that they can. Any given Sunday.
I just think Dallas's defense is the most inconsistent out of all of them.
I will say that. And I want to see San Fran get tested more. San Fran scares me. Now, I think I say they're the most overrated. Go back and look at a lot of that San Fran schedule. You see that 9-1? It needs an asterisk beside it. There's a lot of we beat Tampa by 2. We beat Arizona by 1. You can't tell me
the Rams at the Rams 20-7.
But
and they destroyed the Panthers. What's been saving them is their defense. Their defense have the most takeaways and the most defensive touchdowns in the league. You know, they did lose to the Seahawks though in San Fran.
yeah.
So we'll just have to see. We're going to get a true test because they still have to play the Packers, they still have to play Baltimore, and they still have to play the Saints.
Yeah.
And then their last game is Seattle.
That's true. I think actually New Orleans, not that you put it that way, let's go Green Bay 1. New Orleans are going to move up. But New Orleans has a couple tough games too. I mean, y'all still have Buffalo and San Fran?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got San Fran, but it's at New Orleans, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if it's at Buffalo or not.
Now, if it's at Buffalo, that's a game changer.
Let me see. No, they don't. No. Buffalo is not on the schedule. It's Panthers twice, Then at Atlanta, which I think we got to get a little bit of redemption here.
I don't know, bro. Atlanta's woo, saucy.
No, Drew Brees has a great record in domes. Their toughest game, in my opinion, that's left is the 49ers in December. The same day that we will be leaving the Mavericks Pelicans game.
Yeah.
They'll be playing 49ers.
It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about football? I now see that we had our playoff. I don't know anybody out there in chat. Any questions sports related before we go ahead and move on to any kind of game upcoming?
Did you guys pick? Did you guys pick this week's games yet?
You
almost blew past the whole segment.
Yeah, that's a very important segment. I'm gonna need you in
the whole
on.
reason